And welcome back. It is now day 5 as the search continues for 2 missing firefighters missing at sea. We're talking about Brian McCluney and Justin Walker. Their family members remain optimistic as the search continues. It is an extensive search. For more on that, we have crews on the scene, including Kaylee Tracy. She has more.
As you just heard at the press conference here, we'll kind of recap that a little bit. They said there have been about 100 searchers out there leaving from Mayport here in Jacksonville this morning, Savannah and Brunswick, Georgia. And Captain Mark Vaughn with the Coast Guard here saying that as each day passes, they remain guardedly optimistic. He said, as he said yesterday, it is a race against time. That is because, he says, of that Gulf Stream going about 5 miles per hour up north, and so he says it's become an extensive search, one of the biggest he has seen in his career. They are looking at several debris fields that have been reported, but they cannot confirm if any of that debris is directly related to those boaters. And the biggest clue that they have, that's about 2 days old now, is of course that tackle bag. Brian McCluney's tackle bag, 2 days old, they said, but as he was saying, this has become a bigger effort now because of that Gulf Stream. He says the firefighters and everyone involved in this search, they have several entities involved, as we've been talking about, the Coast Guard, JFRD, and across from Fairfax, Virginia, they are here as well. And he says that they are all taking this in stride. The family has been extremely optimistic, keeping them optimistic. Both families of both firefighters staying in this area together and kind of lifting each other up through this. And again, the biggest challenge, I want to reiterate, that he keeps telling us is because of that Gulf Stream pushing further north. And so they said with each crew that does come back, each search crew, they kind of are reevaluating what they have found to see, guardedly optimistic and see with this search and when they will have to make a call. But he says this is, again, a race against time. We do have another reporter on the scene down closer to the water. I'm going to toss it to Lana Harris now.
Good afternoon. Well, I can tell you that this community has not given up yet. Officials are calling this a spectacularly large and complex search. And once again, dozens of people in this community have volunteered to go and help them. Some volunteers, I'm told, were from yesterday who actually traveled up north to go out of Savannah and Brunswick and help them there. Some even got hotel rooms and stayed overnight instead of going back to their cities to be right back here at Mayport in the morning and help them again. Everyone knowing the urgency needed to find these men today. For the second time, JFRD asked anyone who would to come out and join a search team to find missing firemen Brian McCluney and Justin Walker. And for the second time, the community answered the call.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. The community has really come together to help these guys.
Tuesday's search found nothing of use, but the volunteers say they're still optimistic.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
For David Paradise, that's because of his military background.
Being prior military, we went through a lot back in the day, and these guys are out there, and we still believe they're out there.
The same goes for Ken Moncrief,
a
Vietnam veteran who specialized in search and rescue in the Navy as a rescue swimmer.
I have a background in survival, and I know it's possible. Survival is a mindset, and these guys have the mindset that they could stick it out.
But the support didn't stop there.
Just like 100 bag lunches, turkey, ham, chicken.
Other volunteers who couldn't drive a boat told us it was the least they could do to make sure the searchers didn't go hungry.
If you open each one, there's like these little handwritten notes.
So with the extra eyes, supplies, and expertise, the volunteers believe today could be the day Justin and Brian are brought home.
I'm hopeful, and it just takes the right person to be able to spot them.
Now, when you talk about the community coming together and pulling together for this search and for these men, just over by that dock there, we found this. It is a box of tourmaline. They're asking the people going out to search to keep it in their pocket for protection, hoping that today is the day that we find Brian McCluney and Justin Walker. So again, just a huge showing across the states for this search. Again, if you would like to donate, you can do that at JFRD.com, and it'll help these volunteers with all the gas and expenses they're using of their own to search for Brian McCluney and Justin Walker. For now, here in Mayport, I'm Lana Harris, First Coast News, on your side.